Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. And yes, Jay's in the building by himself for right now. That's only temporary. Please understand, I'm never alone because who I got on the line with me tonight, Craftmatic. Come on, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Brother Jay, and glad to be here with you once again, man. And I'm away, but I'm right there next to you, man, in spirit. So just know that we're going to lock this thing down like we always do.
Come on, man.
And I'd like to welcome you all to Bar Talk with Jay. I know, Jay, you got some guests in the showroom.
Yes, I do. I got my man Jamal, which is walking through the door right now. You know, as always, you know, we here. But I got my brother Jamal sitting in the building with me. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm cool, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, we trying to make it all happen, man. We trying to make it happen. I got my man Kraft on the line. Got my man Jamal sitting right here. I was not able to get Barbara up here from Macon, Georgia. No, I wasn't able to get her in the building today. It's kind of sad. But again, because all of our jobs and things we got to do, I mean, I can say is I know she will want to be here. She did the script. She did her thing. So again, I got to give shout outs to Macon, Georgia. Yes. Thank y'all for paying attention. All day, every day. So, Jamal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta ask Jamal, how was your day? How was your day, bro? I ain't asked you how your day was. We can't be rude up in here. How was your day, Jamal?
Man, the devil try you when you just a step away, I swear.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we're gonna get back to crack. And we got another Jeffrey over here. Lord have mercy, he ain't had a good day. Craftmatic, how was your day? Yeah, it's like that already. How was your day, Craft? How was your day? I hope your day was better.
Man, I've had a really good day, man. I'm in Florida taking care of my father, who is been very ill and has been in the hospital up until about an hour ago. And we got him home and got him situated, and that allows me to be here with y'all tonight. So I'm just feeling blessed, man. I'm feeling very, very blessed tonight that he's getting better. We got a ways to go, but he's getting better, and the Lord is on my side, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you right there, man, that leads me right into a quick prayer real quick. And the only thing I can say right now is everybody bow their heads and understand that the good Lord is still showing that grace. Thank you, Lord, for being merciful like you are. Give the strength for Craftmatic to be able to be that strong son that he is to his father. Help his father through a trying time right now. Put him back whole again, Lord. Please give us the encouragement to go through life, through all our ups and downs, knowing your glory. Make us look up, not down. Look for you, not our friends. Help us strengthen, not break apart. Stay strong and true to your word, not man's. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. What the church saying?
So,
Amen. But I told you got a future ahead of you, boy. You might need to hang in there on that old spiritual side, Jay.
man, only thing I can tell you all day is, hey, Craftmatic. The reason I had to give that prayer is because, again, you took that leap to make sure your pops was taken care of. We talked earlier, and the hats go off to a good man that you are, making sure that your dad had somebody, he wasn't alone. So, again, my hat's off to all y'all good men out there, and for everybody that dealing with any kind of illness, sickness, please do not look down on prayer. Prayer is a strong thing, and again, you don't see it, but he's all around you. So again, he sees everything. He knows, so give it to him. A lot of times you don't see the miracle happen overnight. It wasn't meant to happen overnight. It's meant for you to go through some things. You need to look at what you do. And all I'm trying to do is have a conversation for we can wake up. A lot of people are asleep right now. We need to, when I say sleep, you are consciously woke and spiritually sleep. You got to get back into your spiritual. And then you start working back within excellence and quit walking around here half dummy down. We got to stand up strong.
Right.
We are warriors. So we're going to have to get back to... Go ahead.
And if I just might add a piece right there, Jay.
Go for
it. For those of you who've never joined us before, or those of you who are continue to be with us every week, we certainly appreciate your support. But this is Bar Talk with Jay. And what we intend to do is to inspire you, to inspire our audience to be their greatest possibility. And it's not easy living life. Sometimes you need support. Sometimes you need new ideas. Sometimes you need to hear a story or an opinion that maybe jive with yours, or maybe that doesn't jive with yours, so that you can make a stronger decision about your life and what's good for you. And so, we are certainly glad to have you all with us tonight, and we got a superstar show lined up for you. And Jay, shall we do a recap real quick?
Man, I tell you, man, last week we went into our youth. What was going on with our youth? When I say what was going on, I like to say last week's show was dynamic because of the fact that we had the school shootings that was happening down in Florida, but was actually trying to find out what's going on with our youth, their mental capacity, let alone what are we doing to help get them to a higher, better place. And again, it was like not pointing fingers. It's about having a better conversation and trying to fill the gap. And that communication is definitely necessary. Sitting around the table with them, making them a part of your life, and making them prevalent is going to be the hugest thing that's going to cause change at a time that we definitely need change to happen. Because a lot of the school shootings it doesn't seem to be stopping. I think the last one now, a teacher actually fired a weapon off. I don't think anybody died on that one. Didn't get the full story on that one, but one of the things I'm recognizing is I don't think guns need to be in the school. I don't think teachers need to be loaded, lock and loaded. I mean, they got enough on their hands just trying to teach our kids. I'm going against President Trump on that one about arming the teachers, but I'm not going to go any further with that one because, again, that's not on the table. What's on the table is our children.
Right.
And taking responsibility for them and doing what we can do instead of looking for government to fix our problem. We got to step in there and be a voice, because right now we got young kids ready to march on this. So that's how serious it is when I got young kids willing to march on it. And again, I have not seen that happen in a very long time. I mean, we march about a lot of different things, but they're not happy with the outcome of what's going on, and they won't change. So, great.
Yes.
I love it.
It's a two-edged sword that I think, and I'm really going to lose a lot of colored points for this one, but I partially agree with Trump.
About arming teachers?
Not that part.
Okay.
There are a couple of teachers that I know don't need a gun that I had in my classes. But he said earlier today, he'd rather just take the guns away from those who sow signs, and we'll deal with the due process later. I'm not saying that's the answer, but at this point it's so desperate for some type of solution that almost anything will be accepted. No, I'm not putting guns in a teacher's hand, because I'm not putting guns in a doctor's hand. I'm not putting guns at the cashier's hand. I'm not putting guns at the adult club at 12 o'clock at night. Simply why there are certain jobs in life that this isn't your outcome. When we go into the school classrooms, you see globes and teachers and presidents. You don't see an AR-15 or a 9. You don't have a teacher that's been stressed out dealing with a troubled kid who has a gun in their ability or reach. That's just a hostile situation. God forbid, it's not allowed in Georgia, but there's a teacher with a gun in the school.
Well, I'm going to stop you there. And I'm going to say all day long, definitely feel you there. One of the things I was pushing for is not just gun stoppage. We're stopping all the guns. It's about where is the training. There's nothing mandatory. When you go buy a gun, you should have mandatory a safety class on gun usage alone. Again, to be certified to wear a blue card, to have your gun on the outside of your hip.
But is that going to fix the problem?
I'm going to say up front, I can't tell you what all it's going to fix, but why in the world you can go buy a gun and you don't even know how to use a gun? And that's not fixing anything. So I want to make sure people get trained properly in the proper use of a gun. You got to get trained to drive a car. To drive a car, you have to take a driving course. So again, I want to make sure you understand what you're doing with it, than just running out here watching video games and thinking that, hey, this is just for play. We got some serious things going on, but hold on, I gotta get back to the show. What you got, Craig? Go ahead.
If I can if I can just share a couple of comments. The first half, I guess the first comment of two that I'll make is the issue in all of these situations is that there is not enough or ample security. And we have a lot of military folk who can be on point. And, if you got to pat the students down before they go in class, before they go in the fence, if you beef up security, then you will automatically reduce the number of incidents. So there has to be a greater authority taken, we'll say by law enforcement or by the military. We need the right intelligence and we need the right processes to make sure that these schools are clean of any of these type of weapons or situations. And so I'll leave it at that. The second part is what I think is the most important part, that when you see an increase in killings or murder or rape or any of those, anything, when you see an increase in that, that says that there's something going on in the minds of those folks who are doing it. And that we're not properly equipping young folk to deal with real life. I think many young folks have these, false expectations about what life should look like and how to do problem solving, how to talk about their emotions and deal with their emotions. We need some development in the area of the soul. And I think that will ultimately take us to where we need to be on these things. Our young people are highly intelligent, but they're not being given the day-to-day skills. They're not given the common sense skills. And you can't necessarily teach common sense, but you can certainly attempt. If somebody has a problem, they need to know that they can't deal with it in themselves. And they need to be taught to go and ask for help properly to the proper constituent or friend or neighbor. If you give these young people the information that they need to help themselves sometimes, then they'll go and ask for help. If you teach a child from age 3 to 5 that asking for help is a good thing, I promise you that the child will continue to manifest that in his own spirit and go and ask for help. So we don't want to be down on the youth. We do have to keep in mind that we created this problem, and whether we're willing, whether most people are willing to take ownership of it or not, maybe it was a form of neglect, maybe it was a form of miscommunication. Who knows what all that is? But we also have the responsibility to help them to be their greatest possibility, and that means we got to bring the teaching of love. And we got to bring, this emotional intelligence. It's just mandatory that we start developing the soul of our young people.
I know you're going to debate, but that was last week. I mean, we got to let last week go because, again, we got the quote of the day, Craftmatic.
Yes, sir. Let me pull that thing. Oh, here we go. I got it. Oh, man, this quote is extraordinary. The quote says, "I choose to live by choice, not by chance, to be motivated, to be useful, to be used, to make changes, not excuses, to excel, not compete. Choose self-esteem, not self-pity. I choose to listen to my inner voice, not to the random opinions of others." What a powerful quote, because what it suggests is that for those people who are lounging on their laurels, those people who haven't made a clear and cut choice to be better or to be successful or to be happy or to be healthy, it is a requirement of your own mind to make that choice. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine a few days ago, and he and I basically came into agreement that it is desire that opens the door for choice. And we oftentimes deny our desires for our fear of, not having enough, not being enough, not knowing enough, etc. And so because we operate in an area of our mind that doesn't allow us to honor our desires, it doesn't allow us to make choices about the desires that we do have. And so I just encourage everyone listening to this show to make conscious and clean and clear choices about your life. Choose to be successful, not to just be there at work today. Choose to be a better parent. Choose to be a better friend. Choose to be wildly successful financially. And you'll be amazed at what happens when the human mind sets its intention to achieve or to accomplish or to be a certain thing. I mean, what else can we say, man? We've got to choose life, because if we don't choose life, life will make our choices for us. Let's say it that way.
All day, and I will go in on it, but I'm going to let you go ahead and go with the topic of the day real quick, because, you know, the Tiki got to come up next, so you might as well let her hear your voice, you know, from far away. Let her know what we're really talking about.
This topic is quite close to my heart tonight. So the question becomes, are you folks ready to love? You know? How can you tell if you're really in love with someone? What are the signs or symptoms of real love? And this is going to be a great topic, man, because we don't really talk about the symbolism of love. We don't really talk about the innuendos that push us toward loving people and even sometimes loving ourselves. But tonight we want to talk about being in love, and what are some of the things that will come across your mind? What are some of the things that you might feel? What are some of the ways you may behave when you're in love? I think it's a grand topic, and boy, we're going to blow it out the water. What you say, Jay?
Oh yeah, we are. We're about to go to break real quick, and again, stay tuned with us, and again, if you want to, go to YouTube, and you can see the shows. Usually it's about a week, but you'll also make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe. I need y'all to continue subscribing. We got more things coming, and we want to see more people get it automatically, and it's no cost when you subscribe. And again, thank you for watching us on Facebook, and you can also see us on Spreaker, SoundCloud, everything is possible, and let alone no. You was about to say Black Planet? No. Also, you can find us pretty much on my website. Go to Bar Talk with Jay, and you will be able to see it all. The shows, Spreaker, I have everything, and then upcoming events that we're doing with the bus trip. I also got a party March the 10th, and that's down in Columbus. So again, when we go out and we have fun, we want to make sure you know where to go. So again, Bar Talk with Jay, we'll be right back. We're going to break, and we'll get to find out how much Craftmatic missed Latiki. Yeah, stay tuned. Bar Talk with Jay, yeah, one love. I don't know if y'all had it or not, but guess what? We got TK on the line. TK, how you doing, girl?
I'm well. How is everybody?
How well are you? We doing good. We doing good.
We are lovely.
Oh, listen to crap, man.
Like, on that one, didn't
like Pepe Le Pew.
He had the Luther on that one.
What? Oh, deep voice and everything.
No. That's just the phone.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's after 7. We know.
I'm doing well. How is everybody?
Good, love.
Yeah.
We trying to get there. Okay, TK girl, before we get all hot and bothered, what you got for us today?
I'm just so sick of you already.
Whatever.
Okay, my just general thoughts with everything going on in the news media. My child attends a school named after Barack Obama, and this one has been getting threats since it opened its doors, since its inception. And we as parents of children attending school kind of desensitized to the threats, because we get them every week. It's no big deal for us, I guess, because nothing has ever come to fruition. But how do you have the conversation with children concerning everything that's going on in the news? Because the school is really open about what's going on. So they kind of send them, because we've had multiple threats this week. And it's kind of routine for us to get the message every week since the inception. And at first, everybody was on high alert. Let me go get my kids, let me do this. And now it's kind of like, again, this is what we're doing again. So we're kind of not as sensitive to the situation as I feel like we should be because we're so accustomed to it. But how do you have a continuing conversation with children concerning those events, especially with them seeing what's going on in the news?
All right, we're gonna let Jamal jump in real quick because he over here chomping at the bits. Go ahead, man. Jump in. Short, sweet, give it to the point.
I get short, sweet to it, but it's just so many objections from so many different points of view. I'm not gonna love this situation to fix it. That's just the reality of it. I appreciate all the young kids that go out and march. Hey, I salute to you all day long. The reality is the NRA is bigger than you.
Right.
You don't have the right to carry a gun. You don't have the right to smoke a cigarette. You're not gonna dictate the laws of who can carry a gun as a child. So I don't put it on the children, but I appreciate all of their support. First off. Second, there is no cotton picking way I'm allowing the military in my school for any reason. That's just point blank, period. I'm not allowing more law enforcement. If anything, I'm setting up a meeting with the PTA to every school board in every district. What men are not working right now can we get you to come to the school? What parents are not at home just sitting around, can you come up to the school? Let's make more parents show up to dictate the children, not the teachers. The teachers have a job to educate, but it's up to the parents to raise your child. That's just first things first. Second, you got to understand the generation that we live. I do not believe that there is more increased violence today than there is ever before. If anything, I believe there's more recorded violence. You got to remember, there was a time when the Rodney King beating, we weren't surprised that Rodney King got beat. We were surprised we got it on tape. So I'm not surprised with the police shootings. I'm just glad we got it on tape. And even with us having it on tape, we don't even see the same outcomes or the effects that we want because they still get off. A young lady in Louisiana today was arrested after an off-duty officer sped 94 miles an hour and hit her car, killing her child. The system said they're going to blame the mother for not properly buckling her child, but going to blame the mother for a 94 mile per hour car. Do you know that officer is getting paid leave? Yeah. But the mother is in jail. There is a system that we dealing with, so I'm sorry, I can't put it on the schools. There's only but so much responsibility. I blame them for not teaching us proper education for what the kids really need. Home ec, we need build teaching classes, we need more wood shop, we need some more engine classes, hey, things that we can use. Put us in more coding, computer classes into what we use. But you're teaching us in an old system back from the 1930s and expecting us to keep up. We are the lowest in education in what we do. We have foreigners from India, Germany, China, Japan coming over here, going to our school systems and making more of it than we are because we're not even allowed in the front door. Not that we aren't allowed, but more so we don't even have a chance to get our front foot in the door because we have so many things against us. We have warrants against us. We have, a bad record against us. It's not that we're just bad individuals, but it's a system that we're in that something's got to change, and it's not the kids. If you put seed and you plant it in Alaska, where it's frozen ground, you ain't getting the apple tree from the apple seed you planted. You're going to get a bad plant if a plant at all. It's not going to produce. So you can't put a good seed in bad soil but expect great produce.
Right.
So the idea of loving the situation is just beneath me. I can't understand it.
All right, Craftmatic. I'm gonna definitely get you chime in real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta get Tiki.
Yeah, I would love to chime in on the subject. I think it's a very important subject because there's a lot going on around our children right now, and if they have to perceive it all themselves, they're going to misperceive. Just because they don't have enough knowledge. They don't have enough life behind them to understand. So I think it's a great question to ask. What do we tell our children? And the first thing that comes to my mind is that we need to do some home education. We need to talk to our children to some degree, in whatever way you can, about our history. And we need to educate them on the history, and we need to educate them on the fact that there are haters in the world. and that there's always going to be someone in this world who's coming against you. And it just so happens to be there are bad people who are attempting to hurt the good people. And if you can relay those messages properly, the children will have an understanding. Oh, okay, that's just the enemy. That's the enemy's activity. And, I may need to protect myself. I may need to say something to my mom about what I heard today or seen. I may need to, whatever that may be. But if you don't give the children some wisdom, then they're always going to be operating out of fear. Because I would imagine a child really internalizing that their school is coming under threat makes them fearful. Whether they say it or not, it makes them fearful about going to school and about living, in their day. And you don't want your children to carry in fear the rest of their life. There will be a time to be on the alert. There will be a time to pay attention. But for the most part, they really need to be aware that, there's some history behind this. There's some folks that don't like us. And let's talk about it, and let's get an understanding on how you can avoid the situation, or how you can maybe help some other people through the situation.
So, Kraft, let me ask you this question, just out of curiosity. There's a shooting that takes place in a school. Is the history of shooters going to change the outcome of 17 kids getting shot?
No, not at all. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how do we help our children understand the situation. This is a parent talking to her child saying, how do I explain this to my child? Right? How would you explain it to your child?
First thing, this is the honest to God truth. When I do get to see my son, I literally look at him, and every day I see him. You are strong. When I see my daughter, I don't tell her she's pretty. I said, you are beautiful. I encourage my kids, first off, with what nobody else is going to take down from them. I tell my kids I love you so much that nobody else can tell you they don't like you, and it matters. I don't stop telling my kids I love them. My kids aren't going out of my door away from me not knowing I care for them wholeheartedly, whatever their issue is. That's the first thing. When I do tell my kids what to prepare for at school, you got your cell phone? Unfortunately, my daughter's 3 years old and she does have a cell phone. Despite the fact that I don't like it, in this day and age, you got a cell phone. Because wherever you are, whether in school, at somebody's house, whatever, I'm on guard. I didn't understand when the old folks used to call me at 9:45, 10 o'clock, where you at? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. It's annoying. But now that I have my kids and I see what's going on,
change your mind now.
It's where are my kids and what are you doing? Because I'm afraid, not for what happens outside, I'm afraid when you walk out the door. I need to know somebody is in that school. And if I have the opportunity to be there to pick up my child from school, after school, my child needs to know I'm there. I'm to the point I almost want to homeschool. Because it's getting so accustomed to school shootings now.
Yeah.
I'm literally listening for the news report like I listen to cop sirens downtown on Bankhead. Like, it's scary to live in a society like this.
Yeah,
but it's becoming so
I'd like to hear Jay and TK's take on the subject. I know we're running out of time here for this segment, but what do you folks say to your kids?
TK?
I'm always just very honest. I'm honest with her. She's 9. She has a cell phone. I'm on constant contact. There is no time or place that she doesn't know I'm a Tangoite. No job, no event, nothing is more important to her safety, and she knows that. She knows that if she calls, I'm coming. There's no delay. There's no question. If she calls under duress or not, it's just a question of thought. If I can't talk her down from where I am, I'm present, and that's how I feel like she's more comfortable with going out, because it makes me more comfortable to know that I can reach out and say, okay, it's lunchtime. We're going to sneak a text message in, or we're going to sneak a phone call in, because she's not supposed to have it out in school. And others she doesn't, but it comforts me, and it comforts her, especially in the environment we live in. It's comforting to know that she knows I'm at her disposal at any day and time that she needs me. So first, I just being honest. But as far as with school, I'm lucky enough to have people that I've grown up with teaching in school who know me personally, who actually has my kids' best interest, who is something that you have, and I know without a shadow of a doubt, until I allow, she's still going to be okay. Because their first thought is, let me go lay hands on Adriana.
Right.
I know that wherever they are, she is, and 99 chance out of 100, she's a lot safer than the average kid in that school.
Right. Right. How about you, Jay?
I'm so glad mine out of school. I'm just trying to tell you, that's why my kids ain't even allowed to go up to the school. You don't even go by the school. Go detour around it. It is. One of the things, if they was young, I love the fact that Jamal said I would speak positive and encourage them and give them the strength to understand that we love them, we have them, we support them, and again to be able to give them some knowledge about what goes on and to hear it directly from me. And a lot of times, even with the homeschooling, we have to be on top of this. We can't allow them to be the ones out there doing it. We have to. The finger pointing needs to stop. We need to do. We've been working all our lives. Our parents worked for us to get to this point, and now it's starting to get to a point where it's starting to be so prevalent that we're starting to sit back and just talk about it. But not just talk about it, we got to do something about it. And that's why encouraging, have these conversations, sit down at the table. Do not allow your child to be scared by himself, okay? That fear need to go away, and you need to comfort them. Facts. You need to sit down and give them that strength. This is where we stand up. This is how we become powerful, and we get this situation back under control, is when we stop telling them to watch the TV. No, put down the phone and listen to me, okay? It ain't about being scared of me. You're scared of what's going to happen if you don't listen to me. Yeah. But I want you to respect me. That's where things are starting to go awry. It's like, oh, that's so-and-so. No. You need to listen to me. That's why Latiki said, if something happens, she's there. No doubt. Your child should know that. We need to make that move, okay? That child should know. If anything happens, you pick up the phone. You ain't allowed to have a phone. That's the one time you might get in trouble, but I will get you out of it.
I got you.
Okay? That's when we back them, but we understand what goes on. PTA and getting to the school, we got to be more of a part of what's going on in the school. We got to make sure some things are brought back. How many people go to a PTA meeting? How many people are bringing up the fact that they're taking so many things out of the school that we really need back into the school? We talk about it, but we ain't doing nothing about it. I ain't saying we got to march on it. We need to go down and be present.
Right.
We have to be present. I know we all work and we can come up with 50 million excuses, but we got kids dying now at school. There is no smaller reason, because that's a huge reason, to be a part of something and make change. Great time to make change to a system that was broken for a while.
Now, TK, I love all of your responses, because as a black woman, as a mother, I just have so much respect for you, especially raising a young female in today's society. So I pose this question to you, because being in Georgia, there's certain southern comforts that we enjoy. Going outside and knowing so-and-so down the street, they know what's going on in the neighborhood. So as a parent to another parent with young kids, doesn't it give you a peace of mind knowing that even when you can't get to your child, you can call Tiffany, you could call Miss Sandra, you could call whoever and say, baby, I'm not at the house, but you see my girl, she coming down the street? To know that there is somebody, even if you can't be there, that cares enough to say, I'm there for my child like I'm there for yours. The reason why I say that, TK, is just because you pointed out, like, we can't keep pointing fingers at the PTA or at the teachers. The teachers are only allowed to teach what the school board allows. Right. The school board has to answer to the parents. The parents, at the end of the day, the parents make the calls. One parent might not be able to make a final decision, but when a parent comes up and says, we're going to change the security in this school board, in DeKalb County, in Gwinnett County, whatever. When you step up and say, we're going to change how we do this, we're not allowing law enforcement, we bringing parents in here. It's one thing when you see a cop, we already, as black men, we going to buck at authority, especially with a cop. I don't know you, I don't like you. But it's a difference when we see Miss Johnson coming, hey, tighten up, bro, that's so-and-so mama right there.
Yeah,
like,
you know she crazy.
You ain't doing that. And unfortunately, it ain't people that look like us busting out with these school shootings. I ain't saying that it ain't all of us, but they just, not all of them look like us is what I'm saying.
Okay, we're going to leave that right there.
Right.
We're going to leave it right there. All right, Kraft, you got something to say real quick before we get TK off the line, because I know you miss her.
I
just saying.
She got a
One more.
nice voice.
One more time, Jay.
I said I know you got something for TK before we get off the line and go to break real quick, so I'm gonna let you have your moment with TK.
Yeah, Miss TK, we just appreciate you. We already know where Jay trying to take this thing.
Oh,
But
whatever.
I appreciate you, and I'm so glad you are a part of our team.
Thank
Oh.
you. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful evening, Jacqueline.
You got it, girl. You might want to stay listening because we talking about love tonight, girl.
And they got this crazy dude on the phone, and you never know what I might say.
Man, you never know.
Yeah, call me, baby, call me.
What?
Ooh, that's that loop for
That's what I'm talking about. Call me. Woo, all right.
I
but
wait
every-
till after 9 to
But
say
for
that.
everybody else, we're about to go to break. And again, you get to hear about how Kraft really feel about this love thing when we get back. So stay tuned with Bar Talk with Jay. Remember, if you go to YouTube, subscribe, and remember to be able to listen to us on other things like Instagram. And again, if you are on Instagram and Twitter, please make sure you hit like and give us your comments because again, we got a lot of things going on, and we're about to go to break real quick. But please stay tuned because we're about to go in on this love thing. I think that song right there got a question in my mind. I'm trying to figure out, can a hoe love?
Can I what?
Hoe
Yeah,
love? That's what I think.
yeah, absolutely.
Because again, I mean, the song was hoe. I'm not
I mean, the
saying it like
Bible
that.
had women that were promiscuous that be, show to give true love.
Okay. Well, I'm just
Mary of
kind
Magdalene.
I'm just kind of curious. That's all. But anyway, Bar Talk with Jay, we going in tonight. Hey, my man Kraft, you still on the line with me, right?
Oh, absolutely, baby.
Okay.
I'm right here.
What better person to talk about love than my man Kraftmatic, the spiritual man that can bring the love up out of anybody. I'm talking about that man can touch it and you will feel it. That's my man, Kraftmatic. Tell us a little bit about this topic, player.
Come on.
Well, we're talking about how to recognize that if you're in love or not. And love begins to take over when you are in love. You know, you don't even think rationally, right? You get to a point, and really that's the fundamentals of being in love, is how you think about a person and how much you think about a person. So, you know, you meet somebody and you start talking to them, and you know, you start talking every day, and then maybe there's a day that you miss out on, and you realize that you miss that person. Like, I'd really like to be talking to that person. I'd really like to see that person. I really would like to maybe be with that person. You'll find yourself thinking about them all the time. And it happens often. Sometimes we're maybe in love with the dream of being in love, and so we start thinking about a person a lot, but we're not necessarily in love. When you are in love, you're going to not only think it, but you're going to start to feel those emotions, those caring emotions. I wonder how they're doing today. I wonder if they ate lunch today. I wonder if they're tired. I wonder, you're going to just start to really, contemplate and think about that person all the time. And oftentimes you thinking about a certain person all the time, being in love, can upset your world a little bit.
Sounds like somebody's strong.
Because, right, that you fall in love, then you start neglecting your friends, and you might even start neglecting yourself a little bit. The things that you wanted to do, you just rather be with the other person. And we find oftentimes that we have a tendency to start pushing people away, maybe people that we should have been pushing away all along. But, we start focusing our attention on the person we're in love with. And oftentimes that'll negate the attention that we've given to sometimes even our children, sometimes our family members, sometimes our friends. And it's not on purpose. It's just that, this feeling of love, this this hope for the future. I think love does that. When you fall in love, you start hoping for a grand future. And I got many, several other things to say on the subject, but for the most part, you really start to think, about this person day in and day out, and you start to long to be with them or to talk to them. When you get to that point, you should recognize that it's love time. And some people are dating and fall into that love scenario, but they're not really ready for love, right? This person has kind of consumed their life and consumed their mind, but they're not really ready to fall in love. They're not really ready for a relationship. So I think that's, it's the perfect time when you start thinking about somebody to figure out, hey, is this something I really want? If I do, go ahead in. If I don't, I need to find a way to communicate that, or at least make some changes to protect myself and them as well.
I'm gonna tell you all day, Craft. This is where I'm gonna have some fun with it real quick. Because a lot of times I think when I fall in love is when I'm not expecting it. Normally, I already got in my head kind of categorizing a person, and that person just takes me where I didn't even expect to go. And normally it starts with conversation. They make me feel like a kid again. I talk to them and they take me to a conversation that I'm just in love with. I'm in love with the conversation. The conversation is never boring. It's always interesting. And I don't want to get off the phone. I mean, no matter when I do get off, I'm so excited to get her back on. I just want to hear her voice. Her voice excites me. I am making love to a sound. Her sound makes me think of her in a way, not just sexual, just a way of I want. It makes me feel differently where I was not anticipating this. I didn't want this. And that person grabbed me in a way that it was just gravitational. But the lovely thing is our conversation helped lead me there. Where conversation was just regular at first. It was constant. And then it just got engaging. You ever had that boring person just call you about all the little problems and you be like so happy to get off the phone with them? This person is a total opposite. It's like when you get off the phone, you still thinking about the conversation. You thinking about, I can't wait to pick up the... Matter of fact, I got off, waited a minute and said, you know something, I'm getting right.
Tell yourself.
I said, hold on. I gotta call her back. Okay. You know, when you starting to do this, you starting to think differently. You starting to do, and that's what love does. It make you go back to a kid. It make you feel young. It gives you that youth when you didn't even expect it. And that's why you start to sometimes neglect, because think about that phone conversation that was so engaging that you had other people calling you ain't even answer. That's when you know it. When your boys call you and you see their name on your phone, you know your boys. You be like, yeah, I gotta hit them back on this one. And you keep on going. You don't want to interrupt it. You feel it. It's a vibe. And then when you get done, you gotta call your boys back. If you remember, be like, bro, you ain't gonna believe this conversation. Man, she blew my mind with this, and they ain't even understanding. They were like, man, really? It was just a conversation. Because they're not as engaged as you are, because your feelings is not theirs. But that feeling you have is a feeling that was not there even in you at one time. She brought it out of you. So then again, I said it stays somewhat dormant. One of the reasons why I love people and I love so much now is because I felt love. I love the song Houdini, One Love. Everybody don't experience that. And that's the saddest thing in life, because once you feel it, you understand life differently. And it hurts when you lose it. It hurts so bad, you wish you never had it. That's how hurtful it can be. But if you get off of the pain, get out your feelings, and realize you could have never ever experienced it, that exposure changes you. Believe me, I wasn't quick to fall back in it again once I was in it, because I feel like I was somebody to sit up here. I felt like I was sprung. But when you fall in love with the right one to love you back, y'all sprung together. So y'all spring up. But when you sprung for a person that really is just playing you, you sprung in the direction they want. It's more control. It's less poor. There's no equal. There's no yoke. You're being yoked. You're being choked. So again, you got to watch some of that. I'm gonna let Jamar jump in real quick, because I want to go to break, and I want to make sure we all get in what our thoughts. This is just our thoughts. But again, when it comes to love, it's gonna be your personal thoughts of what you feel it is, because again, I think it's personal
Yeah.
to me. The definition of love is going to be your thoughts on what your exposure level has been. What you got?
Now, I talk for a young cat and twisted mind, but love is patient, love is kind, love is not boastful, love is not envy. Love holds no record of wrongdoing. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child, but once I became a man, I put away childish things. See, there was a young lady by the name of Victoria. I could tell her myself a little bit because I ain't gonna say her last name. She's married now. But that girl, I loved her all the way. To the point from 15 to 21, we hadn't engaged in anything sexual. I was legit content when we were in church together if I could hold her pinky.
You was happy.
Because she was legit, I don't know if young cats right now remember, but you remember calling somebody after 11 o'clock, let the phone ring twice and hang up and then
call back.
You know about calling the radio station on the Quiet Storm and say you done waited for like an hour to request a song, and then you gotta call your girl and be like, hey yo baby, listen to the radio station. Like I'm saying,
You get that request out.
right, that's how I come at it with love. So I remember her so fully, but now, and even after her, I told myself, yeah, I could love a female, but I ain't about to get in love again. Like nobody's gonna take me there. And just when I said that,
happened.
I messed around and had a conversation. Again, it starts with a conversation. Now I could see a sweetheart with the right body, with the right fit, and it's a trophy for the night for me. And it is what it is.
Right.
She could come back, but she gonna leave 2-3 hours later. But with this one, I had her on the phone for weeks. I ain't even try to go no further. I just, what you doing right now? Now what you doing? You woke up? You going to the car? You know what I'm saying? So we're talking different. My tone in the voice changed just because when I hear her voice, it's not just the sexual attraction, which God knows there is, but there is that when I hear your voice, I know that I'm legit getting back a piece of myself. In a way, it's like love connects with love. When I talk to you, there's not a disconnection. It's just that I ain't letting you go. When you love somebody, they frustrate the living crap out of you. And do you still want to kiss them after they drive you crazy? That's when you know, I'm in love. This girl done talked me to death, asking me all about the movie, during the movie, what happened. We just walked in the movie, and still, that's the one I want to watch the movie with. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta be in love.
Yeah, like, you gotta be in love when she can annoy you like that and still just make you smile. Like your kids, there's certain things that your kids do that as children, man, they done wrote on the wall. And you just came home from a 12-hour shift and you like, I'd kill this little boy right now. But then you still gotta look at him and be like, I love this little boy right now. Like,
he's so much like me.
Yeah, it's just that I see myself. And when you see somebody that has the mind and the heart and the spirit you got, you don't wanna let them go. And if you do, you stupid.
Right. And one of the things you just mentioned, Jamal, that's just like right on point, is that when we find a woman who we really like or start to fall in love with, it minimizes our interest in sex. And you recognize, you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm not even trying to get with this girl like that. I just want to keep her and talk to her and be with her and hang out and get to know her. That it most certainly will say, hey, let's put the brakes on all the foolishness and really get to know each other and communicate. And Jay, you said another one that had to do, how you dress. That you'll buy a new outfit for somebody you love.
Man.
Change your whole appeal. Change your whole appeal.
Little PTI for all them fellas out there that's listening, guys.
What you got?
Girls check 5 things when they see you in the first 10 seconds you think about talking to her. They check your shoes.
Right.
They check your nails.
Right.
You walk up to her, she's checking your confidence. She's listening for your breath. And listening for your breath. Listening, is it barking at her or is it just whispering? And then the last thing she gonna listen to is the words that come out your mouth. If your shoes is garbage, stay in your league. If you in the Walmart brand, stay at the Walmart level. That's what I'm saying. Don't step out and think it's gonna be equal. If your nails is dirty, everything about you in her mind is dirty. If your confidence ain't there, bro, a man with a white t-shirt and some khaki shorts can walk up to the most beautiful woman if his confidence in himself is secure. If it's not, then, bro, I don't care who you are, you still gonna get told no. If your breath stink, she ain't talking to you. And if you sound like an idiot, she walking away. So fellas, pay attention to them PTIs from your boy Maul, and man, you step up, man.
And I like all of them, and I think all of them are key. And again, we had a little small segment ourselves, what was that, last Saturday, about this, and we was trying to give some pointers out there because again, I want everybody to find love and to experience it and be able to stay in it. A lot of times how you fall in it is almost the saddest thing, is some of the reasons why you fall out of it. Because you fall into it and you gravitate it and you don't hold on to it. And then you expect it to be the same, and it's kind of hard because things change constantly and you have to evolve and change with it. But if you grow and start with a good communications, like you said, I didn't run after the sex, okay? Now, I will say once you start that conversation, it enhances. So when you have it, it's magnifying, it is wonderful. And I believe that's where love making comes from.
That's when you start looking at her in the face.
What? Oh,
start touching her face like
you missionary makes sense.
You understand it now.
You'll be like, I want to see you. I like to lay on you. I like to what? I want to see you inside, outside. I know all about you because we talk. So knowing her and how to please her, we had so much conversation. It became easy, and then you don't want to know everything. Something you want to find out. Now hold on. Now it's gonna be time for us to go on break real quick because now y'all starting to get nasty. But we're gonna come on back with this love making, are you really in love?
I'm with the love making now. Come on.
We're about to have some fun and go to break real quick and find out. And I really want y'all to have a conversation if you're with somebody right now that you're really involved with or if you're dating strongly. And how much are y'all talking? Because again, if you just texting, that's not counting to me. Them little emojis ain't gonna cut it for me. I want to make sure that y'all have that great conversation before y'all can make great love, because I think that is a part that might be missing in a lot of people's life, because it's just so easy just to do one thing and not touch on the other. But then again, just know, are you able to? Because they might not be a person that you really love with. And if you ain't, it's fine. Because, a good friend is a good friend. There's nothing wrong with a friend.
I almost want to create a little controversy before we go to trouble. But guys, if your woman isn't talking to you,
she talking to somebody.
Somebody else. Point blank.
I'm going to tell y'all right now. She might be on my line talking about
She might be on my line for real. Like,
Let's go to break.
yeah, we go to break. We're getting over here. We'll be right back with Bar Talk with Jay. We got a little bit of stuff going on in the building. Back with Bar Talk with Jay, and yes, the freaks do come out at night, and I don't want to tell y'all where they go. One of the things I want to do is a special announcement real quick. Please make sure y'all go to the website because we got a party bus going down to Savannah. So if y'all kicking it again, St. Patrick's Day, we want y'all to be able to get on the bus, go down there, and that way you can ride down safely. Again, Mike, my boy, sorry, I said Mike. It is John Schultz and Cameron is throwing that big event for me. They're doing it real big. They've been doing it for a while now. I think they got almost like 3 buses and they're about filled up. So again, I think today it went up a little bit in price. So please don't sleep on that trip. I did it before. It was very fun. So I want to make sure y'all go down there and enjoy yourselves. Please take that trip down to Savannah. It's going to be something that you're going to enjoy. Also, I want to give y'all a quick throwback Thursday for you. A little bit of information for the ones y'all live here in Cobb County. One of the things they're changing is the texting on the phone. They had a hard time enforcing it, so they changed the law. What's going on now come April 2nd, you have to have a Bluetooth device in your vehicle. If your phone is in your hand, you will get a ticket.
What?
So it's one of the things that y'all need to know the law has changed. One of the things I want to do is throw out factual things that's going on. So here in Cobb County, in Marietta, please, if you got a cell phone and you used to riding around in your hand listening to it or using it for GPS.
Yeah.
Do not have it in your hand, or you're gonna have some problems. So that's the number one thing I want to make sure of. Do not have your phone in your hand in Cobb County, because again, 9 times out of 10 that will get you a ticket. I think what they're doing is they're trying to get away from the texting, because they couldn't prove the texting. So what they're doing now, if the phone is in your hand, come April 2nd, it will be a ticket, and it's one of the ones that's going to be easy to enforce compared to proving that you was texting or not. So why not know about the law if you can get more ready to get a phone mount? Make sure you have your Bluetooth and to keep this off you, because again, I like to say we're not always on top of the new laws that gets passed. So I like to say, why not throw some things out there on Throw Out Thursday, but we can enhance you with facts. It's not always about opinion when it comes to Bar Talk with Jay. We want to make sure we give you some truth, some things that you can go back and research, and that way you guys will not be ignorant to the law and be out here getting caught up when new things hit the books, because it happens all the time. And we're going to make sure we give you some things other than how to make love and are you in love and all them other good things. I get some facts out there as well. No, we're going back. We're going back now.
Going back?
We're going back in on that. Okay, Craftmatic, since you're on the line, you want to chime back in on are you ready for love, or in love, or are you just like you and TK?
Cause
just getting there.
I mean, this is trying to hit TK up now.
This ain't.
I mean, I got a few things just to share about the subject, and in fact, I'm going to share 3 or 4 points, and then I want to ask a question and throw a little spin in the subject.
Oh, I like that.
So, when you're in love with somebody, a few things that you will do that you otherwise wouldn't do. You want to talk to them more. Okay, I'm not really a phone guy, but when I fall in love, I want to talk to her. You know, I want to see how she's doing. I want to text back and forth. You buy gifts. You spend money. You start to spend money on people, and with no concern necessarily about how much you're spending. Because if you start taking a young lady out to dinner, you might buy 4, 5, 6 dinners in a week, you know, just so that you could be with her. Oftentimes, you might give up some of your own wants and needs. Maybe it's something simple like you shoot ball or hang out with the fellas. You want to spend time with your lady. Maybe you decide that you don't need that outfit, or you're not going to buy the X, Y, and Z that week because you're going to focus on, doing something special for her for the Valentine's Day coming up or the holiday coming up. And one of the other things that often happens when you fall in love is that somewhere in your psyche, in your conscious and your heart, you have a little fear about that person not being in your life. You almost have a renewed dedication to take care of that person's heart, saying the right things. Not necessarily to always try to feed the subjects, but you want to make sure that you say comforting words, and you want to make sure that you're nice to them, and you want to make sure that you're loving, and your love will draw that out of people. People who've been ordinarily mean people or didn't care about people's feelings, when they fall in love, you see a very different person start to come out. And so we all understand what it looks like to be in love. I think we all have been there. We can see it. We can feel it. How do you know that you don't love someone?
I'm sorry.
I like that. Is that the speed? I like that speed.
That may be easy. That's a spin. Think about this one. There's a lot of folks, especially marriages, where they are no longer in love, and they no longer sometimes don't even love each other. But how do you recognize when? I don't want to cheapen it and say the thrill is gone, but love has faded, and maybe you're still acting, to some degree like love is still there, but it's not.
We're going to have some fun with this one. Me and Jamal just had this conversation, sidebar, outside. And the crazy thing is, the way she fell in love with the other dude is how she's falling out of love with you. Because you stopped talking to her, you stopped engaging her and challenging her, and then somebody else did. So it kind of wins your ear, it wins over her thoughts, and probably it wins over her body. Now, once he get these things, guess what? She's not gonna be emotionally tied to him any longer. So she's gonna start showing you non-caring moves. And again, one of the things we talked about sidebar is when she dressed a certain way or puts certain things on and you don't notice. To her, you don't care. So it becomes, oh, so you didn't even notice that I did this? And it becomes that, okay, well, it's pulling away from what she like anymore. It's like, okay, you don't even care about what I dress, what I do, and it becomes negative. So you really want to keep it on the positive. She's doing these things to see if you recognize. And then sometimes you just don't notice just because you didn't really want to talk on it because you was just trying to be amped up for something else or you was handling something else at the time. But when she mentioned it, don't fall short with, okay, I just, no. Just go back and then let her know how you feel about what she did. Spin it. Don't just leave it. Because again, she wants to see how you respond. She want to make sure she's still that apple in your eye. And what happens is she just in your eye. And that's an eyesore half the time because it's like, okay, and that's when we always say you just bitching, you're nagging, you're not there for me, and no. And it's just like what you were saying in the movies, when you're in love with a person and they talking through the movie, knowing I like to be in the movie, I'm watching the movie, but I still put up with your talking behind during the movie.
We in the previews.
I am telling you all day long, that's love. But guess what? When you fall out. Oh, I'll be ready to walk up out that movie. I'll be like, listen, if you say one more time, it changes and your whole demeanor changes, and that's how you can normally. The person went from caring to not even wanting to talk. I mean, it's subtle changes, but it's the ones that's the opposite of what we was talking about before. You wanted to be on the phone.
Right.
Guess what? When you fall out, you don't want to be on the phone. You when she called, you be like, remember? When you was on the phone with her and your boy called and you was like, wow. Then you get to talk to her and your boy called, oh girl, let me get off the phone with you. I gotta go. Not saying sometimes you gotta take calls over, but when every time she called, you be like, oh, I gotta go get with you later. You get put off. Those are signs that things ain't going how they was. I'm not saying he completely fell out of. I'm starting to say he's starting to dislike some of the things that you do. Why he's starting to dislike? It's maybe because he's starting to lose interest in it. I don't know why. I can only speak for myself. And when I start losing interest, it's normally because of what hits me hard is ego. Oh, if you do something to touch me in my ego in a way that I'm having a hard time to recover from it, because again, some people feel like they can say certain things to your body. Well, Jay, you're a jokester. You should be able to take it. Nah. You gotta understand what you said and how you said it to me. I'm big on respect. You cannot sit there and disrespect me and then think you're gonna make a joke out of it and think I'm just gonna laugh hee-ha and it's just over with. No, once I check out, I will not act a fool. I don't have to do nothing more than be quiet. And I don't hardly ever be quiet. When you see me get quiet and then you ask me what's wrong and I tell you don't worry about it, I done checked out. Okay? And if I don't call you, it's because I'm giving you the subtle way out. You don't even want no closure. You won't be able to handle my rejection. Because at that point, I feel like it ain't gonna work. I do not, and I will say it all day, I have a problem with my ego and disrespect when I did not show it to you. And I go out my way, because Lord knows I can say some disrespectful stuff, and I know I am not perfect. But when somebody purposely does it to me, in my face, and think I'm just gonna take it because I'm a joking good guy, you're gonna find out that kind of love don't exist in my world, because a person that really loved me wouldn't do that to me. So that's just me when it comes to that simpleness.
Yeah, and let's hear from Jabal for a moment too. I got a couple of points I'd like to make.
Okay, go for it, bro.
I am the one.
Go ahead, Jamal.
Oh yeah, go ahead, player.
Oh, go ahead and make them now.
No. Jamal going in. He going in.
All right, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second. First off, to a female, to my ladies, you are amazing out there. Even the ones that are bipolar, all y'all are amazing. I promise you. But fellas, the minute you stop doing what it took for you to get her, I'm not saying me, but there's some guys like me. that don't care what your situation is. If you let her come out the house and you ain't satisfied her right, I'm the right guy to replace what love you done lost. I'm the right one that's gonna fill that role. I don't do that for every female. But there's one in my life right now that someone wanted to play the fool on. I wish I could say I felt bad, but when I found a thing for me that I know is, I'm not walking away from this. No one is taking this away from me. I don't care what your feelings is. As long as she say yes to me and it's not a Law and Order SVU case, we rocking. Your feelings don't matter. Let's be real about it. What you not doing, the next dude will. Ladies, what you not doing, the next chick will. Like, I'm not buying 5 and 6 dinners in a week. Let's just be realistic. I got bills to pay.
Right.
But what I will do, fellas, if you smooth about it,
Whoa.
if you smooth, what you do is like this, yo, baby. Come over. We gonna have dinner tonight. What time you want me to come over? 7 o'clock. And when she come over, you got the groceries right on the counter. Baby, I thought you said we was having dinner. Yeah, baby, we gonna make it together. Now you gotta do things that are seductive. Cause when you and her are seasoning the food together and you start doing things, enjoying her senses, do you appreciate the perfume that she puts on? Did you notice the color in her nails?
Yeah.
Did she change her nails on you and you ain't See, if you don't start doing stuff like that, I'm not saying me, but there's a guy like me that's gonna remember all the things that she said he ain't did. Every dude knows certain guys. Please follow these rules. Don't leave your girlfriend that you really like in the room with none of your homeboys. Ever. Ever. Let's say it twice, like, don't do it. Because if you like her,
but I never would have said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
hey, whatever. I'm saying, don't do it. That's your best friend. That's your bro. Listen, don't do it. If you go to the bathroom, she gotta go to the kitchen. She gotta go somewhere else. If she go, that's fine. But when you leave the room, she gotta leave the room. I say the same thing to my girl. Hey, listen, if you want to take me over to your homegirl's house and you leave the room, I don't want to hear nothing in the car about what so-and-so said. When you go out, I'm going out. Because I'm not finna hear the arguments later. I thought my girl was looking,
I'm not with it.
I ain't even with it. So, fellas, follow the rules like that, man. If you don't take care of it, the next dude will. If you think your stroke is right, the next dude is brighter. If you think you just hitting 9, somebody hitting 10 inches. Like, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is what you're not going to do, somebody's going to come preparing to hit the next big home run. And if you don't realize what you have until it's gone, now you're sitting here playing Keith Sweat and Babyface going, baby, please take me back. I want to work it out with you one more time, baby. Can we just try this? And I'm going to be right in the air going, for what?
What?
I saw it the first time and I ain't letting you go. Now that's your problem, and I'm gonna sit back and laugh.
Those are great rules of engagement, and I encourage you, fellas and ladies, wake up if you got something good going on in your life. You got a good person in your life, and you love one another. Sometimes you may not even need to love one another. You just have a companionship. You have a friendship. You gotta hold on. And the reality is that all of our exes, you know, perhaps they may be getting what they need now. There's always going to be, a new fruit to learn and a new fruit to discover and taste. And, that's the point of moving on after you have fallen out of love. The 2 points that I'd like to make, just as a point of contention for the discussion and for those people who are listening tonight, these are very interesting. And Jamal mentioned this one a little while ago, and I think we need to spend just a couple minutes on it. The one that you are in love with may not love you, or they may not be Mr. or Mrs. Right. They may not be the ones for you to fall in love with and live a lifetime with. I think it's important that you honor the emotion of love, but that you use your heart to honor the emotion of love, but you use your head to consider the situation. Is that person worth your love? Would they make a good mate? And ask some of those questions. So just be careful that you can't be controlled by your emotion. And love, in spite of many other things, it is an emotion. If you are controlled by that emotion, you'll make a mistake and you'll be short-sighted and you won't be able to see clearly about what's really happening. The other point I'd like to make is that there is a very big difference, and you guys will sure be able to tear this one up. There's a big difference between loving someone and being in love.
Okay. Okay.
Loving someone is brotherly. I care for you, but being in love means that that you are interested in completely being with that person and building something other than just building a relationship. You're interested in building a relationship. So there is a difference, and I'd love to hear you fellas chime in on that.
Oh, we're going to go in deep, but before we do, we're going to go to break because he's chomping at the bits over here. And I ain't going to let him go in like that because I want everybody to stay tuned to what we got going on here. So again, if y'all just stay in tune, we're diving deep into this in love, how you feel about love, where you at. Because I like to say one of the things about love to me is an L. Because a lot of people get it mixed up with like. Okay. Like and love, two letters of the same, but two different meanings all together. That's why I like Houdini, big time. We have to make sure we really understand what we're in, because you can also mislead. And that's where we're going to go into this a little bit deeper, because my boy Kraft set us up. So Kraft, I'm going to give you your intro one more time when we come back from break. We got to go to break on this one, because again, I want y'all to also go on Facebook, give us your comments. That way we can get them in real quick. I'm going to try my best to get Jeffrey in real quick. But again, I want all y'all comments, because again, it is you guys' thoughts on love that we really want to hear. Our perception is our perception, but we careful with you're in and where you at. We can do some sidebars. I also got Bar Talk with Jay group. Y'all can go to the group and we can go back and forth with this all day, every day. And again, different people can chime in. And I like positivity when it comes to my group. I don't like negativity.
Man, no haters.
So let's bring it up. And again, we'll be back with Bar Talk with Jay, going in on this love thing.
Come on.
Oh my goodness, man, it is hot with Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome back. We in the building trying to set it on fire. We trying to see where you at in your relationship. We're trying to see if it's just like a like type thing or a love type thing. Love Jones in the building.
Ooh,
yes, this is what we do.
Jones.
There you go. Always trying to add your little, see, somebody like you, but I ain't saying me. Yeah, I'm just saying. Man.
I ain't saying me. It's just some dudes like me.
Yeah, out there. All day. You know, I'm going to tell you all day long when it comes to love, one of the things is great to be able to experience it. Everybody don't feel it, but once you feel it, you kind of know it. But then again, it can be confusing. So, before I go real deep into it again, because again, we're going to have some fun because Craftmatic set us up. And I'm going to get Craftmatic to say his part again, but I'm trying to get Jeffrey back on the line. Jeffrey, you made it back with me yet?
Man, I made it back on the line. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's all right. I got Jeffrey in the building. Jeffrey, go ahead. We got to let you jump right into your part. I understand you doing some things, man. I just appreciate the fact that you was able to join us.
Come on.
Man, you know how we do it, man. It's been a long day. I've been working with my folks and everything, but you know what time it is.
Let's get it.
It's time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I'll give you some answers from a man's point of view.
Pimp talk.
Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why they might be single, but here is my disclaimer. Now, see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. And if it doesn't apply to you, don't put your foot up in this shoe.
Come on.
But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them because you'll learn something tonight. Now, ladies, I want you to understand, you always go first. Ladies, you might be single because you crazy as hell.
Oh, man, let me drink on that.
Wow.
I mean, you crazy as hell.
Why?
I mean, it can just be a little bit of nothing. You get all in your head, all in your mind, and you just blow it into a mouth instead of out of a molehill. You get this little notion going on that somebody's out to get you. Somebody out to mess with you. Don't nobody like you like that.
No! Come on!
Like that.
Man, I feel like it's a Super Bowl. Keep talking.
You ain't even
Calm
cute.
down.
And you're crazy.
Ooh.
Now, ladies, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand something. Now, everybody's beautiful in God's eyes.
In God's.
You ain't got to be crazy with it, though. The more crazy, deranged you are, the more or less likely that we gonna stick around. Now, you know, they say that the crazy cookie is that
The
good
best cookie.
I beg to differ. Crazy cookie, crazy gives you crazy kids. So I ain't gonna mess with no crazy cookie, because I don't want no crazy kids.
All right.
So you don't clean that
Don't shoot
craziness
up the
up
club.
now. You
Okay,
don't
I
clean
got
that
you on that
craziness
one.
up, ladies. I want you to understand that them same brothers gonna leave your ass single.
All right. Well, normally, Jeffrey, we always got to throw ours a little bit in there, man. But again, since I caught you in the last minute, go ahead
Keep
and give
going.
the men theirs. Let's see if we can get them Timbs on. What you got?
Fellas, I'm not letting you off the hook.
Get him.
Fellas, you wasn't next.
Okay.
Now, fellas, you might be single because you make women crazy. I want you to understand something. You don't make them crazy in a good way. You done drop that wood on them.
Oh!
No.
Now we talking.
You drive them crazy because you're irresponsible.
Ooh.
You drive them crazy because you get in their head and then you leave them hanging high and dry. You make promises that you don't keep. That makes them crazy. What I need you to understand, fellas, a woman can be perfectly sane, but she can want to be with you so bad that she accepts that foolishness, and you take a sane woman and you make her into a crazy woman. Then when she begins to get her sanity back, she says, I wasn't like this before I met this fool. Let me cut his ass off and get back to being who I was. And she gains her sanity, and she leaves your ass single.
Woo!
Man, you be up there. I know what your other profession is during the daytime. I swear I do.
Swagger. That man put the swag on. All right, Jeffrey. Since I already rushed you, bro, I might as well go ahead and throw the group. Go ahead, throw them together. What you got?
Man, listen. We ain't got no more time for no foolishness. We need to get everybody out the insane asylum and stop being crazy. We need to just really focus on being better people, better men, better women, so we can get to the business of making better children. We got an opportunity right now. Our children are looking up at us. The more sane we act, the more sanity they see, and more they take that internally, and they grow up stronger and more secure because we kept our cool. The more we do that, the better generations are, and the better they advance the agenda of rebuilding our communities. I know that was quick, but that's all I got.
Hey, man, and I appreciate you as always, man. Sorry for the last minute, but as you can see, I adjusted things for you, because that's what we do. We make adjustments because, again, we care for one another. It starts with care, and then we show love, and that's why we trying to find out, are you in love? That's why we do what we do at Bar Talk with Jay. Again, for somebody else won't come in and take your love.
I don't know him. I just know what I look like somebody I know.
So Jeffrey, man, we appreciate you, man, as always, for being a part of the show, man. And again, if anybody did not know, Jeffrey got his show on Saturday at 6, correct, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on every Saturday.
So again, you can always hear my man because, again, he's doing powerful things, and that's why you're a part of it. Because, again, we're trying to do things out there where everybody need to listen more, because we're trying to give you more healing at a time that we're hurting. So I appreciate you, my brother. Craftmatic.
All right, sir.
Spit that question one more time.
Yeah, you gotta spit that
Crab, 'cause
question,
I'm
Crab.
really chomping at the bits right now.
And we appreciate you, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Good look, Jeff.
So it's on me?
Yeah,
it's
we
on you, Crab.
want you to get that question again before we can go back in.
Yeah. Let me do that again, because I was loving that stuff. Okay, I'm just going to share the 2 points. The 2 points are loving someone versus being in love are very different.
Right.
And secondly, that the one you are in love with may not be the one you're supposed to be with or the one you're supposed to live your life with. Sometimes they love you and sometimes they're not in love with you. You gotta pay attention. What you think, fellas?
All right. So I'm not even gonna.
Pimp Daddy over here about to go in first.
Now I'm gonna give you one more chance. I'm gonna let you break down the points, but I want you to say the first point one more time. What's the difference between loving somebody and liking somebody?
and being in love.
All right, so I got much love for my bro Jay. Jay definitely is one of them dudes that I respect as a man, as a friend. So I got much love for that brother. I love that brother in non-homophobic ways.
Thank you very much.
So there's that. But there is the person that I am in love with. Now I'll hop on the phone with Jay and chop it up, and hey bro, hold on, my girl can't take this convo. Let me holler at you on this one. But there's some things that my girl may say to me that Jay can't even lift me up on.
Right.
Now I have this personal rule. If it don't hurt, it ain't real. Hear me out. In the 80s and the 90s, we had love music that when you heard them sing, you felt they hurt. You, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. I love that song. A house is not a home. I mean, the songs, they put that passion in you, go, oh, he loved her. If a woman ever says to me, baby, I love you, I look at her with such a side eye and disrespect, because the reason I look at her like that is because, truth be told, I know you can't. I know you can't love me because I haven't given you enough of myself for you to love. So whatever it is you're in love with is only a representation, but it is not who I am. So if you fall in love for the image, see, you can't be in love with me, because a real woman can look at her man and say, I know that's game. Nigga, talk to me. I mean, bro, talk to me for real.
Break it down.
I see game on that one, but see right now, no, you talking something serious. There's a difference. There's a difference between talking sweet and when somebody says, baby, I'm going through it. Baby, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work through. See, there's a difference. That we. She not French on that one. It's just a us thing together. I don't love you, baby. I'm in love with you. Even when I say it right now on the radio, I love a dog for looking cute. I'm not in love with that dog. I'm in love with I told my girl this morning actually, baby, I love watching you wake up. I don't want another man to see you wake up in the morning. She's like, I look terrible in the morning. See, yeah, to other people. But to me, you are the most beautiful thing, because every time you wake up, I know I'm the person you wake up to. I'm the person whose voice you hear. I'm the person that when you're asleep, I just go, God, thank you. Because I don't even deserve her. You know when you're in love, because you don't deserve to be in love. The person that you are in love with, if you really look at what you've put out versus what they're giving back, more than likely, you don't deserve it. And all you can do is say, thank you, God. Because it's amazing that in 1 Corinthians 13, I got to go back to that, God's is love. If you can't thank God for the love you had, it can't be real. It's an illusion. That's my first point. What was your second point, Kraft?
I see you all over on this one.
Yeah.
What was your second point, Kraft?
I think I lost him on
We
that.
lost Kraft? Kraft, you still there?
Even if you
I tell you what, we're gonna see if we can.
What was the second?
The person that you are in love with may not be Mr. or Mrs. Right, or they may not be in love with you.
You know what? Unfortunately, I can't give solutions. I could just point the finger on that one. If you were able to get that woman or that man to be in love, number one, you got your foot in the door. It's not their fault if they put you out. It's your own fault. Because if I invite someone to my house, they know the house rules. If I put you out, it's because you violated house rules. I'm not in love with you, not because I stopped caring, not because it wasn't there. I'm in love with you because you stopped putting forth the effort. If you don't put in that same effort to make that woman smile, I can't talk to the females, I'm only talking to the men on this one. If you do not tell her how much you appreciate her, if you're not sending her a text message during the day that says, babe, I'm just thinking about you. If you don't call her at 3 o'clock when she's about to get off and just say, babe, I just wanted to hear your voice right when you got off. See, as a man, when I bring home the groceries, I feel proud. I done worked hard. I done did my job. I done brought it home. So when my woman goes, babe, you brought everything? Yes, baby, I brought everything. Baby, I'm so proud of you. I did that, baby. Baby, go ahead, take a shower. I got to see. I appreciate that woman because she appreciates what I did for her. But the minute that I stop appreciating what she brings to the table, I'm not saying there's a guy like me. I'm not saying it's me, but there is a guy like me that's waiting for that door. Honest to God truth, there's some female friends right now that if they boyfriends was smart, would not let me be their male friend. Just being real honest. Like, you wouldn't. Because you know a guy like me on what I'm thinking. Luckily for me, I got a woman in my life now that keeps my head on straight. But if you don't prepare yourself for what you have, what's the story in the Bible? Jesus took the disciples out onto the boat, and he says, throw out your fishing net on this side of the boat. They didn't do it. So when they caught the fish, what was meant to be an overwhelming feast almost took the whole boat over because you weren't prepared to love. Now you have a woman that loves you, but if you are not prepared,
You won't be able to hold on.
you won't be able to hold on to it. So that is why women or men walk out. It's not because they stopped being the person that you fell in love with. It's because you stopped being the person that showed that effort.
And a lot of times I like to say,
like that.
oh yeah, I do too. And I'm just gonna chime lightly on it because a lot of times when you get in it, you get over your head or you don't even know what you got yourself into.
Right.
So you gotta watch, and again, you listen to the show and then you want to say, oh, I want to try this. Don't play with what you don't know. Speak with confidence. Do what you do know, and let her fall in love with you, not what somebody else do. A lot of times you hear different people do different things, and I'm gonna do these things to win her over. You win her over with your personality in which you can bring, and that way you will repeat. Okay. You're not gonna always repeat what somebody else do, and then you're gonna lose her because that ain't what you started with. That's not what, and she's gonna do special things for you because of the things that you started that you can't keep up, and then that's when we started getting that disconnect, and then you wonder why. Because see, you came in playing when it's really a situation where she wasn't playing at all, and that's why when somebody say they love you, and they feel like they love you, and you're not there, don't be quick just to say you love them back, and that's not how you feel. And I feel like that. Sometimes you feel like if I don't say it, it's gonna hurt her. Let me tell you, it might hurt her. She will rebound from that faster than your lie of saying, I love you too, baby. And then you can't fulfill the love that she put out there because you didn't want to hurt her feeling because you ain't the man that she needs. The real man will go ahead and look at her and say, I'm not there. Now, it will hurt her. I promise you, I had this conversation. But the respect level came from, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It was just, I wasn't there. I had a deep feeling. I liked certain things. But the loves that she was saying, I wanted, but I wasn't there. Quit playing and acting like, I am.
I challenge you on this one then.
Challenge, talk to me.
Yeah. And
Be cautious.
Be
Be
cautious.
cautious
Yeah,
of when somebody tells you they love you.
Okay.
Because love to them may not be the same thing as love to you. All right, take it out again. I literally speak based on words. What you say is what I believe. I don't, because that's something you can't lie about. You can buy me a drink, but most females know if a dude buy you a drink, there's expectations at the end of the night. So a simple gesture that could have been interpreted one way can now interpreted another. I say that to say this. Let's take a woman who's been abused. Unfortunately, in Atlanta, it's out there. There's women who's gone through abuse. And let's just say the person that abused her said, this is that secret love. This is that special kind of love. But abuses her, hits her, takes advantage of her, takes her innocence. So now when she says, baby, I love you too, you have no idea you're drinking poison. Because this is meant to hurt. Some people view love as pain. And I fall guilty of it myself because, again, you know when you've been in love versus when you love somebody. Because when you've been in love, brothers, come on, be honey. When your woman leave you, it take about 2 or 3 of your boys to get you about the house when you really been in love. Because, bro, what am I doing? The whole house look a whole mess now.
Hot mess.
Because she ain't there no more. Or women, you know, your girl done dude done broke up with you, and now your girl's got to come and take you, drag you to the club just to get you some fresh air, because now you starting to smell like one of the brothers. So be careful with who says they love you and how you accept it.
There you go. Go ahead, Kraft. What you got?
Yeah, I like that, man. And I think that is a perfect segue into one of the things I really wanted to cover in this show. Folks, our show is designed to be somewhat therapeutic. And it's like therapy. It's like, you need to hear some new ideas and get introduced to some other people's opinions so you can have a stronger opinion of your own. And I think what is happening in the world a lot that we are not recognizing is that, and I'll give you an example before I tell you what it is. You fall in love with someone. Maybe you've fallen in love with several people in the last 20 years. And now you're afraid of love. Now you've been hurt so many times that you just don't have the desire to face the opportunity for love because you think it always ends in disappointment. And so it's important, folks, that you don't block your ability to love and your ability to receive love. Okay? When somebody's pouring love into you, if you've been hurt or damaged or in an abusive relationship, you got to find a way to heal from that so that you can open the doorway for having love in your life again. And I think the falling in love and falling out of love happens way more times than people fall in love and live lifetime relationships. And so now we're dealing with a health issue, a mental health issue, a heart health issue, that people are afraid to experience love again because it is painful. But you've got to open your mind and you've got to open your heart that there is a way to experience love, and they were mistakes. They just weren't the right person. You learned a lot, you got a lot out of it, but they're not going to hinder you from experiencing real love in your life. And so you just have to take a stance in that way. So enter the risk zone for the pain, because it takes being vulnerable to be in love.
There you go. And I like that vulnerable part, because again, it is. I like to say, when you're in love, it's the eye drops off and the we begins. If you want to know if you're in love or not, a lot of times in conversation, you love the conversation, but you start thinking of the other person in a way that you're not selfishly thinking about yourself. I'm willing to give up my own happiness because I know she's going to fulfill my happiness back when I give up. And that's where that compromise comes from, where I know I had to do some things. I'm willing to put it to the side to spend more time with her, that I know she's going to fulfill me and give me more joy than what I wanted to do. And that's why being in love can change your life, and it can make you also feel like you're sprung and a fool. But again, to experience it and to grab a hold to it is mesmerizing, because again, even when I look back at some of the craziest times I had, when I like to call that young puppy love, back to what Jamal said with that first one, where you didn't rush into it. It was a slow process, but that process got my mind where I know where my happiness lies, because I learned from that experience, even when that one didn't work out. And so right, it took so long to recover. But once I recovered, I realized I had to expose myself again, because that feeling, I wanted to feel again. So it's a learning experience, and it's one that, again, some people are scared of. I like to say, embrace some things that you're scared of, but understand, go with wisdom. And then I like to say, I learned a lot. And then I had to change some of my way of thinking, because, well, some of the things I did wasn't wise. Because I didn't have no exposure at the time. I was just, I ain't gonna just say young and dumb. I didn't do right. But what I can say is she also taught me the way as I went along. Something that I like to say an old school guy couldn't really do for me, because what he's telling me I didn't experience, wouldn't know. I got exposure by doing it. So I wasn't scared to do it. I did it, learned from it, and now when I see other people getting in that mode, one of the things I love when I hear Jamal say, hey, you gotta keep her in that mode. Don't let him slide in the back door.
Not me.
Somebody like me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's his disclaimer.
I want to hear from Jamal on the subject.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
I think it's important to just plant this seed before we get ready to close.
Oh yeah.
That love is not something that love is patient, love is kind, love is enduring. And so just because you may have to check yourself and say, hey, am I being selfish here? Am I giving up too fast? When somebody, is incongruent with you, or you're not talking to them as much, or whatever. That if it's real love, and if there was real love in the beginning, you have to fight to keep it. You have to fight to nurture it. You have to fight to make it visible. And so I'm just encouraging those who maybe have lost love. You're in a love relationship, or you're in a marriage, and it seems like the love has gone away. It's not time to give up. It's time to fight. It's time to go hard and put your best foot forward so that you can make your love grow. You got to continue to make love grow. Just like any plant, you got to continue to nurture it. If you don't, it's going to wither away. And so it requires effort, and that means hard work.
All right, well, Jamal,
We
jump
got
in, man.
apple trees and we got bonsai trees. And the reason I say that is because apple trees, it is what it is. It's going to grow. Bonsai trees, you got to trim it. You got to cut it some places where it's dying. You got to help it to grow in the way it needs to. I say that because the woman that I'm in love with, I'm not going to call her out all the way, but she literally showed me that love is not a feeling. Feelings come and go. Feelings are temporary.
Mm-hmm.
The day that I knew that I loved her was the most unorthodox day that you could. We weren't out at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't even in the bed. I was sick.
Mm-hmm.
She's at work. She gets off and she comes and we're gonna take care of you.
Hmm.
She didn't want me when I was dressed nice. She didn't want to be with me when it was convenient for her. It was not even about the us factor. She loved me so much that she wanted to be with me even when I was sick. Fellas, if you don't appreciate that, not me, somebody like me, is going to hold on and cherish that. If you don't realize the gift of the woman that is in your life, you're an idiot. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you only like her when it's convenient, you're an idiot. If you only like her when she dresses nice, you're an idiot. Fellas, if you want to know if your woman loves you, there is an arrogant test that does work.
Okay.
And every brother should know what I'm talking about. If you are in the bathroom, towel just hopped out the shower, your girl is in the kitchen, your girl is on the computer, your girl is folding clothes, your girl is on the phone, and you walk out the shower with the towel on and she don't go, yeah girl, we gonna go out later on tonight. Girl, let me call you right back. If she don't bust that move, I don't care if you got a keg. I don't care if you got a six pack. If your woman at that moment doesn't look back and just, somebody has her attention. Because truth be told, when your woman comes out the bathroom at night and she puts her leg up and she put the lotion on her leg,
Oh, we look.
you know what? We going straight in. And if she doesn't want to do that to you, not only does she not see you, she doesn't want you to touch her. She's not attracted to you. She does not feel you. Something else is more important
Than you.
Then you have to ask yourself, what have you put that's more important than her? That's all the game I'm gonna give you, because the game's supposed to be sold, not told. And guess what? Everybody ain't me, and everybody can't talk like me or Jay or Kraft. I mean, you can't talk like us, and I'm not telling you to be us. I'm simply saying if you don't learn the game for what it is, and the game is life, if you don't learn it, not me,
For somebody like me.
somebody like me,
It's gonna teach you.
I'm gonna teach you
You
at
know
your
what?
own expense.
Yeah, we need to have a show that subscribes to that. We need to because we've said a lot of things in the show that I say a novice or somebody who's kind of young in the game, or even new in the game. You can still be old and still be fairly new in the game of love. That they don't know how to do some of the stuff we talked about. When we say you need to prepare and you need to heal yourself, and they don't know the how-tos. And so I think it may be an opportunity for us to do another show that gives people a prescription on how to.
Well, I'll tell you what. On that note right there,
30
Kraft,
seconds.
I want more people to let us know that on Facebook. Let us know if that's what you want. And again, we can do a seminar. I mean, we have the capability to be able to do a lot more than just another show. We can do it and make it more where we can get more involvement. But I need more feedback. Again, we want to make sure we deliver what you need.
If you want to know if you're ready for love, guys, simple things. Number one, do you have a nice pair of dress shoes? Simply, if you're not dressed to take her out, then you're hiding the thing that you're supposed to be lifting up.
Okay.
If she looks the same way to you in January and in December, that's your mess up. Because truth be told, if you're not improving her, you're downgrading her. It's either or. If you're not making money, you're losing money. If she is not feeling better about herself as a woman on how you treat her, you're a clown. You don't deserve her. You should step aside and let the next man step into place. The reason why I say man is because if you're a child, you do immature things and you don't only see things past yourself. It's like when a young boy learns what this thing is growing in between my legs at 11 o'clock at night. I can't stop playing with it. If you don't know how to stop and control it, you'll never learn how to last an hour, 2 hours. You'll learn how to satisfy yourself and walk out the game. If you only satisfy yourself, what are you doing for her? Why is you in the game? This is what we mean when we say you need
that works
to.
both ways.
Man,
All day.
this is
And again, we're going to have to cut it right there because we gave him too much Craftmatic. But again, one of the things I want to say is prayers out to your dad and also all to you for being there for your dad and being the strong brother that you are. So for all y'all women that didn't even know how special Craftmatic is, it goes all the way back to his dad. He passed it down to his son. And one thing I give it to Kraft, I'm pretty sure his kids are loved, and I know if they listen to the show, they know why you there for your dad.
Bar Talk with Jay.